Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 267. Back down in the basement with my teenage son and co-host Jack to talk about another week of professional wrestling. We'll talk about Dynamite. We'll talk about NXT. We'll talk about Raw. We'll go back in time a week and talk about AEW Forbidden Door. I'm even going to talk a little bit about Heatwave that you didn't see. I'll go through that really quickly. Timestamps for whatever you would like to find. Navigate as you see fit. This will be our last one in the same room for a little bit, eh? We still, Indeed. I keep saying it for weeks now, we still have to figure out what we're going to do. But I have ideas. We're going to maybe try something out tonight, see if it works before you go. Off to university tomorrow morning. Whole family's going, including your uncle. So we have a second vehicle to take your tons of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be doing this remote pod next week. I don't know when or what it'll look like. Hopefully it's similar.
Yeah.
We'll try our best, right? So
it'll be easier until I get deeper into stuff.
Yeah. Are you excited, nervous?
Sure.
Both a little bit? Yeah. Got your own room, which is nice.
Yeah, that was the main thing.
Yeah.
So I was talking to someone who got into one of those annex buildings.
Yeah.
Nope.
Who do you know that's in there?
Just random people that I added on.
Oh, nice.
Social whatever, but just
is Annex the apartment ones?
Those yeah.
Yeah.
With the multiple people.
Yeah, I had friends in second year because I stayed in Res 2 years who did that style, and I didn't like the idea either. They had a common living room area, which was kind of cool, but there was 2 doubles and 2 singles, so it was 6 people.
That's not.
And
I don't want to.
No. So that will be new and exciting for you. Anyways, we're going to head up tomorrow, about an hour and a half away from where we live. So we'll do that, drop you off. So today is a day of you eating the food you want. So we had lunch from the best shawarma place in town.
That's my favorite one, yeah.
I think it's my favorite shawarma place anywhere. Not that I eat a ton of it.
It's my favorite, yeah.
But
even though I always get souvlaki because I like a good souvlaki wrap.
True. Shout out to Yala. They're the best. I got their shawarma poutine. It's amazing. And then tonight you have chosen to go eat dinner at Scatabush, which is a Italian chain that's good.
Yeah.
We're getting the cheese ball.
Yeah.
Of course we are. Their mozzarella is
great.
Fantastic.
I don't know what I'll get from there, but
yeah, we'll figure it out. So that's the plan.
Think of anything else.
I have, I think, convinced the dads down the street to try disc golfing later today. And I knew I kind of lured them into it. I'd ordered discs. They came in the mail. So before going down to Mike's garage to hang out and throw darts, which I threw amazing darts last night.
You just go subtly as I
got a package in the mail. I'm going to open it here in front of you guys. And then they're like, well, what's that? And they know I play disc golf, but they're kind of whatever about it.
Speaking of hand-related things, did we not, I don't know if did that happen last week?
Was it all taped up?
I don't know. I don't think so. 'Cause I feel like didn't it happen just before
Could be.
School?
No, I talked about it because I think I said that we talked about it
because
you had to pick a chunk of my finger.
We did talk about it.
It probably doesn't look that bad on camera. You can see
noticeably layers deep is the thing.
It is, weird. And you can see the new skin is starting to grow in around it, which is nice.
Weird.
But so yeah, I opened up the box of discs in front of all the guys, so then that led to lots of questions and passing them around, and Mike was so into it. He was like, I want to go now. Let's go. But it was dark, so I'm like, okay.
You can still throw it in the dark.
So he's like, first thing tomorrow, text me first thing. So after this, I'm going to get them together. I actually just went out and bought a basket, too, from Canadian Tire.
You did. Oh, that's what you went to get from Canadian Tire.
And it's just fun. I can go to the park, set it up there, and just tee off from different areas and go at the same hole, without traveling anywhere. So anyways, that's my excitement. Bought a couple, this disc is so beautiful. I'll show it off, right? The Discraft Zone. Look at that thing. That's a beauty. So I haven't thrown it yet. I'm gonna do that later. I don't know. Anything else you wanted to discuss? We got a lot to cover here.
I don't think so. We gotta do stuff.
Yeah, we got things to do. You got to finish packing and whatever else. We got to figure out our remote audio setup. So let's get into talking about some wrestling. First segment every week. It is news and rumors. So for news, I think I feel okay about my news. I don't know why I feel compelled to always comment on how I feel about my news.
Because sometimes it sucks.
A lot of times it sucks. First thing I have is, did you hear about the Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor? It took me back.
Yeah,
the issues.
Honor Club had issues, and so it's on YouTube.
Right. So anyone watching on Chrome and Firefox apparently were unable to watch it. So they have posted. The thing I saw said the remainder of the show on YouTube, and my joke was, how many people did this actually affect?
Probably not much.
Like
but
7?
I guess it gets more people to probably watch the show if it's just there.
Yeah, but so it takes me back because I seem to remember Ring of Honor and some other places. I forget what the streaming service was they were using, but there was like constant issues with it. It seemed like on every show. So at least Tony Khan tried to do something. You have to do something, right? If people paid for it, it's nothing more frustrating than paying for it and not being able to see it. So
it's like when WCW went too long with Halloween Havoc 98.
That's right.
So they had to give Goldberg and DDP on Nitro.
That's right.
And that was the last time they beat WWF.
That's right. So yeah, at least they tried to make it right, I guess. I think I have like 3 other stories this week.
So I don't know if we talked about the whole Knox Pro thing, so I don't remember when it started.
We didn't talk about it.
I didn't think we did.
No.
So there's the whole Raja Jackson incident from them.
If you're a wrestling fan and you are at all in the world, I'm sure you've seen or heard about it.
There was like a gimmick thing with the beer can with the guy Psycho Stu hit Rampage Jackson's son with it. It was like some angle, right? I think it was.
I don't know if that was or not, or if he just did it and then.
Or like, but he didn't. He apologized for it. Like he got permission or something like that, right?
He apologized for it, and then the other guy that I think brought Raja in, who has since been released, was basically like, "Hey, we'll turn it into some sort of an angle." He was supposed to get in the ring and do something, but instead of something,
he shot 21 shots to his head.
He tried to murder him.
Yeah. And so Knox Pro, which is the indie company that Rikishi owns, lost their WWE ID affiliation.
Yeah,
and
it was
apparently
gross.
wrestlers have also been leaving as well. Someone said, and I thought it was funny, Rikishi must be having a great week losing his WWE ID thing and then also watching his son lose the US title.
Right. Oh yeah, Sammy. We could say that here, right? He lost to Sammy on SmackDown, was it?
Yeah. I'm sure people are gonna love the Sammy Hogan,
with a replica title apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was awful video to see, and the guy streamed himself talking about how he was gonna go in and hit him for real and stuff, and like just
and
a really
the
bad
dude he beat up
scene.
was an ex-veteran, I think.
Yes, and he was unconscious for a while. I don't know if coma is the right word, but he is awake and like he's still trying to recover.
I've seen like a ridiculous amount raised for his
yes
GoFundMe though, so that was great.
Because good old America, you don't have health care, so if you get hospitalized or ill, you can either have coverage, luckily, that you pay for or your work, or be generationally poor because you got sick or hurt.
I saw like Mr.
Really
Beast
good
donated like
system
$10K to that. I think Jericho donated.
Yep.
A bunch of people did, so that was cool.
Say what you will about Jericho, he does donate his money at times to things. We have our issues with him, but he seems to part with his money at times for worthy causes. Yeah, what else do I have? WWE had to alter the Tribal Thief shirt. So he wore it on Raw. I don't know if you saw it. So it says whatever, Tribal Thief, and then it has the shoes on it. So those are ever so clearly Jordans. So they have since taken the shoes off because they're worried about a copyright claim from Nike.
Sense.
So I mean, the shoes, it's both cool and not cool on there. Like I get it and it's cool, but I would never wear that shirt because the shoes were hanging around it. It looks kind of weird. So now I think it's just the same shirt minus the shoes. But I still do like the Tribal Thief and him stealing the shoes.
I do think it's funny.
Like it kind of gives him a bit of character. But yeah, so apparently they backed off for fear of Nike coming after them.
Next thing I had was that Orange Cassidy is apparently clear.
Yeah.
And the timing couldn't be better. We really need top babyface to fill in the gap since Ospreay underwent surgery and Swerve's going to. They're out for a while.
Yes.
Both of them.
So would you rather, knowing he's cleared and now like expecting, I would rather they just didn't say anything.
I would rather.
But I don't know, maybe it's impossible to keep, you know what I mean?
It
maybe
might be hard
really,
to keep under wraps.
Yeah.
And it is nice to know that he's coming back when we're in a bit of a not a babyface drought, but we're losing two people who've been like crucial.
To like we keep saying
success.
They could be top of the card, run your like.
I mean, I think
company.
that's kind of what they've been. Like Swerve was champion through a period where people were just crapping on AEW for existing.
Yeah.
And then Ospreay has been like, the more I think about it, like Ospreay's the most valuable signing they've gotten since like Moxley or Jericho. Because you think about how many great matches Ospreay's given them. He's a top character. He's super popular. He's great in the mic.
And I think he could have signed anywhere and been the face of that.
Yeah.
WWE
I think
wouldn't let
that's
him.
why. Remember Triple H made some comments about him not wanting to do the hustle or whatever?
Yeah,
and, like, Triple H is definitely salty with
sour
that.
grapes.
It's great that like they got Penta. That's cool. They took both Lucha Bros. They took Starks. They brought back Andrade, Rusev, and Black. But what has that done?
Pushed him to the moon? Nope.
What has that done for any of them? Ospreay's like
nothing.
I think Ospreay, not single-handedly, but he's a huge reason why I think AEW's had I think this will go down as like the renaissance year for AEW because they kind of went through a dark period, I think. Not that I think it was ever horrible, but like it was definitely not as good as it used to be. The public opinion was super down on them because WWE was up, but now WWE's going down.
I was a little bit down. Like even I had shifted
Dynamite
a little
wasn't
bit.
as consistent. I feel like, but looking back, and I'll definitely talk about this again at the end of the year, Dynamite's been way more consistent. There have been some episodes that have absolutely knocked it out of the park. Spring Breakthrough is the one that like immediately jumps to mind.
Well, Raw's gotten to the point where I don't watch it anymore, and NXT is like tempting me to not watch it.
And like,
unfortunately,
they're in kind of a rut right now. I feel like AEW's actually done some really good stories this year. Their matches are still great. I just feel like they've really turned a corner.
And Ospreay for me is that undeniable category.
Ospreay is
like he's a star anywhere he goes,
and he's been on every pay-per-view since he signed, which will be crazy that he's not gonna be.
That is nuts.
Of course, when we're about to go,
workhorse he is. We're not gonna see him when we go all out.
And I think the thing he always said was like that restore the feeling thing, and I think it actually kind of has
to a certain degree.
Like,
I agree.
I feel like people always romanticize the 2021 era, and that's fair to an extent, but I think like in a couple years' time, I think people will look back on this year favorably for AEW because I feel like they've really not put a bad foot forward. And
selfishly, I love when AEW has stars that aren't WWE reach.
Yeah, and all their signings this year have been like...
I know Swerve is a little bit, but I don't really even count him because they used him for like a third of what he's capable of.
I still consider him homegrown because they're
and Ospreay and MJF and Hangman, all those are the ones I love to see.
Even the Elite have never touched WWE.
Maybe
obviously.
It's just I don't have that fatigue of seeing this sounds bad, but the stain of WWE on them.
And it's like even though we see the Bucks every week, they're like doing crazy stuff every week, so it's like way more entertaining. But yeah, like Ospreay's just been so valuable, so it does suck that he's not gone. Because like even you look at Fletcher, who's like a made guy right now. He's a guy they made off the back of Ospreay.
Yes.
Because Fletcher was always really great and we love him, but I don't think he was a made guy until that Ospreay feud.
Yep.
Right. So there's stuff like that, and like obviously Swerve is part of one of the company's defining feuds.
Mm-hmm.
So those are two guys that are like crucial to their success. I'm not saying they're gonna like flounder without them.
No, they
but
won't.
It's gonna suck for sure. So hopefully Cassidy, I think he's a perfect fit right now because he's super popular. He's great. He's way more palatable than initially we thought.
And just the shelf life he has beyond. He
delivers great matches too, and he's also someone perfectly fit to fight Death Riders, which I think is where they'll go with him.
Yeah.
And I hope Switchblade comes back soon. It doesn't seem likely.
No, it doesn't.
But I hope he comes back soon because Switchblade.
Yeah.
Because it's weird to say that like he would be a great top babyface right now.
Mm-hmm, he would.
Which is again weird, but like he could totally fill that slot.
My favorite story this week, I think, and I'll see if you can pick up what I'm putting down here. Are you ready for another global problem to be solved?
Because there's another baby. Yeah.
I knew you'd get it from that. So, after their first baby ended racism, thank you.
What does this one end?
Cody and Brandy Rhodes have announced the birth of their second child. Forget the name. Doesn't matter.
Oh, I do know the name.
So, what is
it? I don't know. I don't remember, but someone said they should name it Justice.
So,
because the first one's name is Liberty. Let me see. Hold on. I think I can find it.
Could it be we're going to get the end of world hunger?
I was thinking, is it another daughter?
Could it be no more...
Because I say that we end sexism.
I think it is. No more wars? Could it be that...
Whatever's going on in, like, the other part of the world, it's done
An end to climate change? We don't know, but...
Oh, what? Hold on.
Something is about to be eradicated that we don't need in this world anymore. Thanks
Leilani is this
Leilani will end...
Yeah, I saw someone post about it, and I said, has a lot to live up to being the younger sibling and the baby who ended racism.
That's right.
I mean, I feel like this baby looks whiter, so it obviously can't... Well, racism's already over.
Well, whatever it is, the world will improve.
The world is better now that the Rhodes.
So thank you, Rhodeses, for ending another global issue.
Will we end sexism and misogyny?
Could be.
I don't know. I think war is the most.
War, world hunger would be nice.
Yeah.
But anyways, congrats to them, I guess. But we're always going to use that bit, so get ready.
The mileage to get out of that bit will
is the best.
That honestly makes Cody and being in AEW all worth it for me.
It was the most Cody thing ever.
That one promo. Yep. This is why he failed in AEW, because he's pulling shit like that. It was just what are you doing?
His esteem of himself is off the charts, and I'm just not there with him.
Well, it was that, and also just how randomly patriotic it was. Like, there was no reason to be that patriotic. And it's just like, there's never been an interracial baby ever.
Yeah.
It was just, it was so great.
Exhibit A, Your Honor.
Well, I'm not black, so I guess that's what he was really looking for.
True. All right, go ahead. I got 2 more.
The last one I had, because this is news.
Apparently. I have more than you? Okay, that's rare.
Yeah. I was just looking, like, while you were talking about stuff, because there's some other things, but...
Yeah.
Like, I saw people were... I think Ozzy Osbourne's daughter was mad about that Becky Lynch promo.
And apparently that is a shoot, and they were thinking about apologizing for it. I don't even know what the insult was. Because obviously I'm only watching highlights and stuff of Raw now, and they're not putting that in their highlights if it was controversial.
Oh, and apparently Ricochet was planned to be a member of the Hurt Syndicate. But we'll talk about that later. Anyways, the last one I had was that Gabe Kidd is actually considered by them as a permanent member of the Death Riders.
I like that.
I do too.
I enjoy him. So
he's still under contract in New Japan, but he gets paid per appearance.
Okay.
But he's expected to appear more. I think I've seen some people in New Japan bought with it because he was one of the people who was like waving the New Japan flag and criticizing those for leaving. Yeah. So now it seems like he's kind of... I mean...
And it's interesting, he couldn't work G1, but he's fine for Forbidden Door.
I'm not saying like...
He could have recovered in that time,
It's
obviously.
just weird, yeah.
But strange.
And I wonder if he would have shown up as much if Pac didn't get hurt. Because he definitely feels like a replacement for Pac.
Forget about Pac. I feel bad. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I have 2 more. One, WWE is considering moving Chelsea Green and Ethan Page together to main roster. They do definitely have good chemistry. And they're both Canadian, right? So they can carry on this gimmick on the main roster. I just think... Like,
get Petrovic and then someone
Ethan
else.
Page will do really well with this, but because he can do anything, I firmly believe, character-wise.
But that's the kiss of death.
I feel like this is beneath him. It's a little too unserious for what I want from Ethan Page. But anyways, if it gets him to main roster and gets him like noticed, then that's cool for him.
And
so
give
we'll
the
see.
North American title to Javon.
Yeah, I would think. Last one I have is, this is funny to me too. Nikki Bella says, the WWE's locker room wants who back?
Goldberg.
Brie Bella.
That's not true.
That's what I said. Because, first of all, wrestlers are famous for wanting more people hired who could take their TV time, right?
And part-timers at that.
For sure. And it couldn't possibly be Nikki Bella putting over her own agenda and trying to get her sister back on the roster. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't the women's locker just sitting around going, man, you know what we really need around here?
The less popular Bella.
We need Brie Bella. Well, come on, man.
I guarantee they weren't sitting around thinking they need Nikki Bella, let alone Brie Bella. Because let's be honest, if you want one of the Bellas, which one are you going to pick?
Yeah. It will come up today. Nikki Bella is running away with worst female wrestler for me. Even though I don't know if she's been here the whole time, it doesn't matter. Because she gets so much attention, and she's bad at everything. She can't talk, she can't wrestle. So I don't...
Becky the C word.
I don't know what's going on, but anyways, that is all I have for news. So I think we'll go back a week, talk about a couple pay-per-views on this part. We'll not a ton of detail. I didn't take detailed notes, but we'll give our thoughts and opinions, and we'll go some over/under accurate if you want to get that fired up. We'll take a look at last week's Forbidden Door and a little bit of NXT Heatwave. Okay, so Forbidden Door, we're just going to really talk about the matches for the most part, not really a ton of the in-between stuff. My notes were limited, especially first few matches, because I don't know if you remember what I was doing. The worst part of this injury was, remember I had to get the gauze that had fused to the wound? And it took me like
as the show
the better part of an hour to try and slowly peel it off without just absolutely ripping everything back open. But anyways, we did make a note that Danielson is on commentary, and I thought... just overall, he does a really good job of making points. Whether he's talking about a face or a heel, he kind of treats it. I did actually like Danielson. He kind of treats it like it's a real sport, and he's not worried about, well, he's a baby face, so I like him, or he's a heel, so I don't like him. He just kind of talks.
Other than he left for the main event because it was Death Riders.
Yes, and he was like,
actually no, he left because the show was over.
That's right. The main event was done. What is he gonna do?
Yeah, Hangman won.
So we did not watch the 0 hour. Is that what it's called?
We caught the end of the trios title match.
We did.
Because I remember seeing Robbie exit a spiral tap.
Right. The show proper starts with Copeland and Christian taking on Kip Sabian and returning Luchasaurus Killswitch.
The matriarchy.
We'll call him Luchasaurus. So the beginning of this, right, was Christian basically wanting nothing to do with Luchasaurus. Obviously, that makes sense. And then there was a weird spot. I only made a couple notes. Remember, Killswitch got Kip up on his shoulders, and Copeland ends up hitting a spear off the... So I didn't understand what Luchasaurus
Remember there was the one spot where
Sabian
Luchasaurus
were doing.
kicked Copeland square in the face. It looked sick.
Yeah, it did look awesome. Sabian gets really bloody at some point.
Yeah, he got like a gash like right over his left eye.
He's very bloody.
Looked cool though.
And then it ended after 15 minutes with a good looking pop-up spear. Right?
Yeah, like Christian pops Sabian up into a spear from Copeland. So that cool.
I thought the match was good.
I thought it was solid. Like I didn't ever expect like a
It wasn't a hot opener
match, but I thought it was a solid pick for an opener just because the crowd gets really into
they do
the legends. So I thought it was a decent pick because like the crowd gets to sing first thing and like it was just like kind of a feel good match kind of thing. And so I don't think it was a terrible choice for an opener, and it wasn't. I don't think it overstayed its welcome either. So I don't think it was like
15 minutes.
Yeah, like I don't think we were waiting around for it to end. Like
No.
I thought it was fine. The action was solid. Like. Maybe not my favorite match and not my ideal opener, but not like I wasn't mad with it being there.
I thought it was an odd choice to like you're already showing issues with Luchasaurus and Sabian.
Unless we're going somewhere with it.
So I know, but it just was like they didn't even coexist for half a match before there was.
I mean, to be fair, they probably
problems.
never worked together.
So anyway, I thought the match was good. What's over under accurate?
This was 6.23.
6.23. I went slightly over that. I went 3.5 stars.
I agree, and so does Meltzer.
Oh, he's already got his in, eh? Good for him. So he was 3.5 bang on. Yeah, like a good match, but not awesome. And a solid opener, but not the one I wanted. Then the match I didn't know I wanted was next. I thought it was going to be good, and I made 0 notes because I really got into this match. And that was Takahashi taking on Kyle Fletcher for whatever belt that is that he has.
No, I want you to tell me what belt it is.
International.
Nope.
That
one got unified.
Wait, Continental? No. I don't know.
You really should know. There's literally only one other option.
TBS. TNT.
That's TNT. TBS
yes,
is the women's one.
That's right. Close enough. I don't even remember. I just know Fletcher hit a brainbuster for the win. This got 17 minutes. I thought
remember there was the one
awesome.
thing where like Fletcher went for the brainbuster on the apron, and then Takahashi countered and like splatted face first on the apron real hard. Takahashi did some stuff that looked pretty good. Fletcher is always fantastic.
And Takahashi, it's that like he takes a ton of punishment. Fletcher's offense looks amazing and punishing, so it's a really good combination. I love this match. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Really good.
It's in my top 3 on this show. If I'm being honest with you, I thought.
If I had to think about it, yeah, I think so.
Fletcher's offense always looks amazing. Takahashi looked really like resilient and hit a couple. Like near falls is strong because there was no universe where. Oh yeah, we should be talking about our points too. Many things to do. But I thought this match was awesome. I thought just another banger for Kyle Fletcher with a different type of opponent, right?
Yeah,
so,
I think it does suffer from like obviously we knew it was never not going to be Fletcher, but that's okay. It was still very good.
I liked because there wasn't as much forbidden doorness obviously on this, but this was one and it really delivered. I thought this match was pretty great. Over under accurate?
This was a 7.76.
I'm over. I went 4.25.
I'd probably agree with that. Meltzer's a little higher. He's 4.5. I wouldn't go quite that far, but it's because it lacks story, right?
Agree. So for me to get 4.5 and above, because we're kind of stingy, you've got to have a build and a story and whatever.
Which is what Forbidden Door is usually lacking a bit, I find.
If there was, this could have gone up another quarter, another half, depending on how good this. I thought the match was great. Really
I think with the story, more believability on Takahashi's part in terms of outcome.
Yeah.
Because that always helps me. Like, that was what was so perfect about Ospreay Hangman was like...
Yes,
that one was so incredibly up in the air.
So then you can get over 4.5 for me if you got that.
Yeah, easily. Oh, I gave that one 5, I remember.
Then we get a 4-way for if that was TNT, this has to be TBS.
That is how that works.
It's Monet defending against Alex Windsor, Bozilla out of Stardom, who is very young and big, and Persephone, who's from CMLL, right? So... I thought this was solid. I didn't think it was great. I thought there was a few clunky spots.
I thought it was okay. It was like definitely slow in periods.
I thought Bozilla looked green to me, which makes sense.
She did look a little green. I thought she looked good in parts.
And I did too, and the crowd responded well to her. I thought Persephone outside of the Razor's Edge spots, I thought she was okay.
I thought she was solid. She had some good energy.
I wasn't super impressed, but
Windsor's obviously the standout.
I've been really impressed with Windsor. So Monet counters a Persephone Razor's Edge into a pinfall to retain, as we predicted. 15 minutes in. Overall, I thought the action was pretty good. Windsor impresses me, and do you remember Persephone's dive to the floor where she caught?
She almost came up short.
Looked super dangerous.
She was fine. Really well, yeah.
So I don't think it was a bad match, but it wasn't anywhere near my favorite on this show.
No.
And again, like, they really did nothing to build Persephone or Bozilla, and they immediately get a title shot.
Well, because I think they either got qualifiers in their companies or something like that.
But shouldn't we know that?
Shown. Yeah.
Shouldn't we, as people who closely watch the show and take notes and talk about it every week, shouldn't we know these things? I mean, I could forget it, but you would know. But anyways, over under accurate.
This was a 7.08.
I'm accurate. I went 3.5, so bang on 7.
Yeah, and then Meltzer was 3.25.
Okay, so we're all in the ballpark.
I'd probably go
there.
3.25.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't love it. Then we get Nigel McGuinness taking on Zack Sabre Jr. for the New Japan, whatever, IWGP Heavyweight.
I want you to tell me.
Right?
No, it's IWGP World Heavyweight.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Same difference. Chekhov's towel, ? Is one of the notes I have.
Yeah, but then not really.
He didn't use it. So, yeah, Garcia is accompanying him.
And everyone thought it was a heel turn. Of course.
You would assume he's going to throw in the towel on Nigel and heel turn. They didn't do anything with it. So this was a technical match as expected, but the holds and counters... Not an
overly interesting one?
Yeah, the stuff wasn't impressive enough for me to forget that there was no universe where Nigel McGuinness is winning this match.
Yeah, that's why I thought Garcia would have been a better choice to face Sabre, because I feel like he's a little bit more interesting as a technical wrestler, and he's not like as technical, where I feel like he does more strikes and stuff, so I feel like he would have been more interesting. It's rare that I would say Garcia is a more interesting opponent, but like, you know.
I agree, because I found like Sabre working his style against somebody working a different style is fine. Sabre working his style and the other guy working the same style were now too much. It was like when we
saw Sabre and Gresham live, like
yes,
it really just
a
didn't
little bit too
me.
much. It's too much on the ground, too much, you know.
There's not enough impact, and so there's not enough for like. I find there's always not enough for a loud crowd to react to, especially having, like I said, been there for one of his matches. When it's technical, there's like, even though we're not the most reactive fans there, I feel like just even like generally speaking, I feel like there's not that much to react on, because you're waiting for like the high impact stuff. So maybe top rope, whatever, and it's just like there's not much there. But that isn't a takeaway from Sabre, because I think he's fantastic. And
I love watching him transition through stuff, but then I would like the other guy to be doing other things and not trying to do the same thing.
Him, right?
So, yeah, I get, and I do like having a variety of matches on a show, and this can be your super technical match, so I get that as well. I think
there's still variety in Sabre, even if he's facing someone. Like, it doesn't have to be technical for Sabre to provide that variety.
I agree. So I made a note that you struggled to stay engaged in this one.
Yeah.
I also had the finish.
Like even Danielson's better, because he's technical, but he'll also
strike,
divvy it up,
and do other things. So Nigel, Sabre each are going for pin attempts. Then Sabre flipped Nigel over, used his feet to trap the arms. Sabre pinned Nigel for the win 16 minutes in. No Garcia turn or involvement really at all, which was a little bit of surprising. I just thought this was the finish was sort of anticlimactic too. It's just like, oh, he got him and it's over.
And
sort
it's
of
the second roll-up counter in a row.
So I thought this was fine, but this is Forbidden Door.
This felt like a low
so
point
it should
match
be better
for me, I thought.
It is the lowest rated match I have, speaking of which.
I think probably these two matches back-to-back were a bit of a lull for me.
I agree. And then I thought it finished really strong.
This one got higher. It was an 8.08 from Cage Match.
I will take the under.
And Meltzer went 4.5.
That's crazy. I went 3.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that
Which
great.
Which may seem harsh, but...
Not terrible, but
I can only go by how interested I was in it, and I wasn't very much.
Yeah, that's the thing, too, is we were talking about, like, the lack of story for Fletcher and Takahashi. This was about the same amount of story, but even less interest from me.
Agree. And that's, you're right. There was zero story here.
And I think it followed through on my expected level of interest.
A semi-retired commentator is taking on the face of your company. Okay.
And, like, the best technical wrestler in the world.
Right. So, yeah, that one kind of... then the lull... Oh, sorry. We do see a backstage scene with Tekla and Queen Aminata fighting, and then they fight their way onto the ramp. And Aminata headbutts Tekla to put her down. Sky Blue, Julia Hart show up. And then I didn't get the music right away, but you did. It's Jamie Hayter. She returns to help Queen Aminata. Tekla runs away while Hayter poses for the fans. Question. I like Hayter. I'm glad to have her back. Is there a bit of overlap with her in Windsor, though?
What do you mean?
Just like they're kind of similar. Not even just because they're both from similar
racist.
part of the world, but like...
I mean, style-wise, I don't know.
A little bit. I don't know. Anyways, I'm glad to have her back, and we'll see where she fits in.
Because she was definitely the plan for Tekla, I think.
And then I saw that...
but she was hurt.
I was telling you Aminata had her bag stolen with her passport and her everything in it, so I think she spent a little extra time overseas than she planned. Then we get into the Tag Team Championship Triple Threat. Someone somewhere I was listening to, can't give him credit because I don't remember, made a really good point. They ran a really good tag team tournament to have nobody win.
I did think about that myself. But I'm not mad at that because the tournament was awesome.
It was awesome.
And the match was great. I even said I would have liked to win her, but I'm not really mad with how the tournament played.
I'm not either. It's just kind of funny.
It is, but I had considered that.
And then no one wins.
But like that just happens sometimes.
I guess the flip side is to say 2 teams won.
Yeah.
If you're the optimist. Anyways.
It's like a glass half full type thing.
It is the Hurt Syndicate, FTR, and Brodito. And we definitely did not predict this one, I don't think. I just have a few notes. Nice Brody King hot tag. The crowd is very hyped to see Brody and Bobby Lashley face off.
Yeah.
Shelton Benjamin finally gets control of Brody King with 3 Germans. Bandito hits the fall-away moonsault to Dax from the top onto the floor onto people, scary, right? Which was pretty cool. And then 2 guys in New Japan suits show up to attack the Hurt Syndicate.
But they're not.
And then a third one with a pipe. But I was like, who else could be coming over? But it's just good old Ricochet and Gates of Agony. Sorry, Goa. And Danielson and Excalibur offer possible reasons for the attack.
And they were right, because it was...
Which I appreciated, because I'm like, obviously, I don't remember anything, so I had forgotten.
It was that... One of them was that when they punked out Ricochet, but they
Ricochet
said
wanted in the Syndicate, and they were a hard no.
There was something else, too, that
was there?
offered up. I think that was the reason, but like... Yeah. Anyways, they did do I saw something on Instagram after that. Yeah, that is the reason that Ricochet beat them up, because they embarrassed him.
Right.
And so now he's like getting back at them.
At least they offered something.
I did like that, and I like that, like, because I kind of forgot about that, because that's kind of really what kicked off heel Ricochet.
And the finish to this sucked really bad.
It was, because they did the assisted 450 thing, but kind of bungled it. Then Bandito went for the pin, but went off, then went back for the pin. They definitely messed up the finish.
It was all, and the ref wasn't quite in sync with what was happening either.
The finish was like
bad.
It wasn't bad. It was just poorly executed.
Yes, correct. On paper, fine. In reality, no good.
Execution, yeah. But other than that, I thought this was pretty entertaining.
I really liked it too. It felt a little shorter than like 17 minutes.
It was definitely too short, but it was probably one of my favorite matches.
The finish hurts it a bit. Really good action. Feels like the Hurt Syndicate needed to be removed from the finish, right?
I don't mind this way of doing it, because at least there's like a storyline reason for it happening, and like.
And maybe, like we said, they were interested in getting younger talent over. Maybe that's how Brodito gets in here and surprisingly wins. Maybe this is one of those Bandito.
I'm not mad at Brodito winning either.
No.
I think because FTR don't need the belt right now.
I did feel like FTR didn't do a ton in this.
I mean, I feel like they're kind of like
could be because I'm a week removed,
and because they're like the glue holding it together too.
So I guess so. Yeah.
You got like the big power team, and then Brodito doing crazy stuff, and then like FTR is kind of in the middle.
Yeah, they're that connective tissue. Good tag team match. Maybe I expected a little bit better, but that's not to say
I think it could have been a bit better, but still, I thought this was really entertaining. And I'm happy with the result, too. Like, it's good for Brodito, and I think it's fresh blood in the tag division.
Absolutely.
And honestly, Bandito's been on a roll this year. I think they've had great tag matches. I heard good things about the match with Hechicero the other night, and then the Takeshita match was great.
I also think this is evidence of AEW doing things differently than WWE, because they're kind of like, oh, the fans are really into Brodito, so... Let's actually do something.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I don't either.
I'd love a program with them in the Bucks.
The whole point is to appeal to fans, I thought. Well, not for TKO, I don't think it is.
No, because literally Cross is like...
Their goal is...
ignore the chant.
Their goal is online engagement. Full stop.
Get the big moments. Money. Yeah.
Stop. Even Danielson had some trouble explaining who was legal at the end of this.
FTR claimed that Bandito wasn't legal. So I don't know if that's true or not.
Interesting. I am really happy for Brodito. This kind of super legitimizes them as a tag team. I
saw someone say Brody King's got some explaining to do when Murphy comes back.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about him, too. Over under accurate?
It was a 6.69 from Cage Match.
Oh, I went over.
Like people like Sabre way more than this.
I went over. I went 3 3/4 stars. Not quite 4. If the finish had been clean, it probably would have pushed it close to me.
And a little more time, I think.
Yes, but a very good tag match for sure. Like,
agreed.
Entertaining.
Meltzer went 4.
Yeah, I mean, that's not totally out of line with us. Then we go to Swerve Okada for Okada's belt, which is the Continental.
Unified.
Damn it. Whatever.
Well, I mean, it's like the Unified International Continental, but like...
Okay.
It's unified.
So Swerve tweaks his knee early.
Swerve's also got the Mr. Terrific inspired ring gear.
That's right.
From Superman.
He tweaks his knee early on, which I guess is he does actually have an injury there.
Shoot.
And he again tweaks it or sells it when he flips over the top to avoid Okada. The thing where he goes off the apron and lands on his feet, right? So that's a smart spot.
That is good, yeah, because that's like even commentary points out that's a staple of his repertoire.
Exactly. Swerve goes for a pile driver on the steps, but Okada attacks his knee, hits a DDT on the steps instead. Okada hits a tombstone on the floor. Danielson talks about all of the people that Okada has hurt, and Callis quickly says they are taking pieces off the chessboard, which I thought was a cool way of putting it, right? And I rarely notice commentary, to be fair.
Callis is always great value on commentary, though, I find.
House calls, stop an Okada run. Swerve keeps wrist control, hits 3 clotheslines. Swerve avoids a couple rainmakers, hits that power bomb grip into a power slam thing, and a house call for a nice near fall. Then Okada goes back to the knee to slow Swerve down. Swerve avoids another rainmaker. Okada hits a drop kick. Swerve hits a house call. Okada ducks a second house call. Finally successful hitting the rainmaker. Picks up the win. I said after, but I didn't write down how long it was.
16:41.
So they're all hovering 15 to 20.
It's weird.
Basically. It is weird. Usually I think of them as working longer. And then one of the big returns. So maybe we're not fans of it, but it's definitely eventful, right? Is that Wardlow shows up, takes out Prince Nana, F5 some security. Then it turns out he shakes hands with Callis and he is confirmed part of the Callis family. Takeshita and he sort of share a look, right? So I think
between that and the issues with Okada, Takeshita's on his way out.
We are about to tell the story of Takeshita getting out of there and becoming a super mega. He could replace the Ospreay Swerve spot too. That dude is a superstar. You know how we feel about Takeshita.
And I think this G1 work and a lot of his
which they really didn't draw a lot of attention to.
Which I think is a missed opportunity considering he won the damn thing.
He did.
Which we didn't talk about, but I don't know if we talked about it, but yeah.
He didn't. Ghost Jam was correct.
G1 is
in his prediction. Yeah.
I'm really happy for him.
Me too.
But yeah, like even when he's a heel, just some of the stretches he goes on with his offense, just you can't the crowd can't help but get involved. Like I think it was the Ospreay match at Spring. He does. He's like a big Japanese dude. I think it was the Spring Breakthrough match with the Ospreay. Just like some of the things he does, the crowd can't help but love it because he's just the only thing that sucks is I think as a heel he's so great because he's got such dominating offense, so he won't be in control as much with some matches. But I do think he has a lot of mileage as a babyface. I think his English is good enough where he can cut solid enough promos.
I agree.
And then if you do vignettes, you just let him speak in Japanese because I think his voice just itself sounds really cool.
We're always a fan of just letting him speak their native language.
I do think we're pushing the babyface Takeshita agenda, and I don't hate that. I think either. You do the story of he runs through the Callis family because now Callis has spent time amassing this army of varying star power. To be fair, you got your RPG Vice up to your Fletcher, right?
Yes.
In Takeshita, but so I think it'd be interesting. So then we could get Takeshita could easily run through one of the Roppongi guys.
I think he runs through
Takeshita Alexander, which is sick. Takeshita Archer could be interesting.
Hechicero.
Takeshita Hechicero would be cool. I would have him beat Wardlow. I don't care.
Does he take the title from Okada?
I think that's your end game.
I do too.
Because while Okada hasn't been unified champion that long, he's been champion forever.
Yeah.
And I think Takeshita would be a made man after that. I think he's already been kind of made. He had his international title run. He took that from Ospreay. He had great matches with Ospreay and Omega. But I think this could really make him, it would be kind of really cement him as top guy. Because the unified title is supposed to be a bigger title. Not the world title, but a bigger title, right? So I do think that's... And I think Takeshita could be someone that could really bring prestige to that title.
And a guy like Okada holding it for so long is a way to get that prestige rolling, and then
and then I think Takeshita is the perfect guy to carry
with
that.
a lengthy run after.
So I think you have him run through guys. You could even get Takeshita Fletcher, which I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
I think that'd be great. I think you could either have Fletcher win thanks to Callis, or champion Fletcher takes a hit, which isn't great, but it's Takeshita, so I think it's okay. And then, I think your end game is Takeshita being Okada, which I think is great. I think we'll see that by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe before. I could see that, like, maybe at least at Full Gear.
And then there's another star you're making that's not a WWE guy, so I love that.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the guys that are actually in this match.
If we can make stars out of Fletcher and Takeshita, I'll be forever happy.
This was the story of Swerve coming in at less than 100%, and Okada
just taking advantage of it.
Yeah, being willing to do that, right? So I thought the knee injuries forced Swerve to work a bit slower, which suits Okada fine as well, right? Puts them kind of back in Okada's favor. Felt a bit shorter than I expected, to be honest.
I agree.
But again, if Swerve really does need time off, maybe he's not working 25-30, right?
I think then, like, it's some of the matches being shorter I thought was weird. This one could probably be defended because, Swerve is definitely not 100%.
This had the potential to be a classic, which it was not, but I still thought it was very good.
Wasn't even a Continental Classic.
Over under accurate?
7.38.
I'm about accurate. I went 3 3/4, which would put it at 7.5
from Meltzer. I'd probably go 3 3/4. I do think there's a better match in here
there
somewhere,
is.
and maybe with Swerve back and healthy, that's something that we explore.
Yeah.
But I think for now it was a good match, and there's nothing wrong with it. It did at least have a story going throughout.
It did.
And I think.
And again, they didn't put a ton of attention on the build of this, but it was enough for me.
I think in different circumstances, when Swerve's healthier and maybe it's like a different title, no title, then the result's more in doubt, and then that's also more interesting as well.
I agree. Next, we get Toni Storm defending the AEW Women's Championship against Athena. And this was Athena on offense for the vast majority, and I thought she looked great.
She looked fantastic. I mean, it does suck that she didn't win, and I am still bothered about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at the very least, she looked fantastic here.
And the choice to have her... to nitpick, I guess, a little bit, I don't feel like she had taken that much damage to be pinned already.
She got submitted.
Submitted.
Which
And
I think is worse.
And it was only 16 minutes. So again, we're in that shorter range somehow. But I thought she looked great with a really steady, varied attack on. Everything was Storm's neck and head, right? Coming off the pile driver on the steps from Dynamite, right? Mm-hmm. So I thought she was great.
She threw Storm into the barricade, which knocked out the screen. And later on, one of them got thrown into the screen. It glitched back in. The crowd goes, "Yay!" Yeah. Which I thought was funny. It reminded me of Allie at the Impact tapings.
So I really like this match, mostly because of Athena. So I don't know, over under accurate on that one?
7.3.
Okay, I was slightly over, but pretty accurate. I went 3 3/4 again for this one.
I'd probably agree. Yeah, not as good as the other 2 3 3/4 I went with, but like it was still good.
And the crowd
Athena looked really good.
Crowd was only kind of into it. I thought. I don't know. Yeah, I thought Athena's relentless attack on the neck was great.
She's about to hit 1,000 days as
forever
Ring
champion.
of Nothing champion.
Mm-hmm. Then we move into the main event, but not the last match. And it is MJF versus Hangman Adam
Finally,
Page.
a longer match. This one's 31 minutes.
Yes, for the AEW Heavyweight Championship. Actually, Men's Heavyweight Championship. Hangman makes a point of saying he likes to say that, which is cool of him.
Yeah.
Right? So MJF brought the CMLL title to the ring. The referee stopped that, and MJF hit Page in the head with the steel clipboard near the end.
Absolutely clocked him.
There's a very satisfying sound out of that clipboard.
It's just really good, yeah.
So MJF puts on the Dynamite Diamond ring. The referee stops him from using it. Then Page uses the same clipboard.
Absolutely, like, clobbers. It's just so great every time. They just... I don't know what it's made of that allows them to...
I think it's just like aluminum.
Clack them with it every time.
So hits MJF with the clipboard. Deadeye, buckshot, 32 minutes of action. Adam Page retains. This match was fantastic.
There was also a Deadeye through the announce table that looked... Or not
awesome.
Through the announce table, Timekeeper's table.
Yeah.
There was stuff like that. There was the false finish.
Yep.
With the heat... I think it was the Heat Seeker. Then there's the rope break, which the ref didn't see because he got knocked out before. Briscoe came down and pointed out.
That did bother me.
It wasn't perfect, but it was something. But yeah, I thought in general, really, really great match.
Me too. And the weird thing with the referee counting 3 and then waking up and not honoring his count was the only blemish for me. I do like that Page was too smart to get DQ'd because MJF was trying to bait him into it.
Because that's what happened. They did that kind of stipulation with Orton and Christian in 2011, and Christian like spits in his face, and then Orton kicks him in the nuts. And I like that Page just spat back at MJF.
But then Page is still willing to cheat as well.
Because MJF already did.
So I like that. Yeah. And he's kind of like the babyface champion, but he's got a bit of an edge to him because we've seen him like try to kill people and burn houses and stuff, right? So I think these two have amazing chemistry.
Yeah, it's their second match this year that's been really good.
I thought this was an awesome quote-unquote main event. Just another Hangman just having great matches with everybody. And these two, there's going to be more with these two, right? Which is I'm totally fine with because these are a couple pillars, no pun intended.
Yeah, we're going to go back to
this company. Over under accurate?
It was an 8.07 cage match.
I went over that. I said 4.5 stars.
4 3/4 from Meltzer. I
thought it was great.
I was going to go 4.5, I think.
I think it was awesome. If the little referee blemish thing was out of there, it might help it even a little bit more. But I thought this match was terrific, and I look forward to them continuing this program.
It delivered on exactly what it needed to be, and I think we'll revisit this eventually because MJF has that contract, which now they made has to be a week's notice, which I like. Mm-hmm. So then we're not doing Money in the Bank.
And just to differentiate,
that was one of the main things. Yeah.
Then the show's over. Nope, just kidding. We get the lights out match. I didn't write down anything because I had a feeling this was going to be crazy. So all I have, and then you can add details if you want. Ospreay hit a hidden blade to Matt. Omega held Matt, leading to a hidden blade into a one-wing angel. Then that sets up Tanahashi for the high fly flow onto Matt Buck for the pinfall win.
Max Buck and Jeremy Buck.
Yeah. So 33 minutes, the faces win, which I picked and you didn't. So we'll have to quickly go back and check that.
So this one's Darby Allin, Omega, Ibushi, Tanahashi, Ospreay against Claudio, Mox, Gabe Kidd, Young Bucks.
In a big cage with lots of room on the floor.
It was very reminiscent of the dog pound cage from New Japan.
You're right.
Big open roof cage that like spans ringside.
And you had to have room for this many guys.
There's a bunch of weapons in there. There was one spot where the Bucks tried to pull out thumbtacks and it was just gummy bears because the team's messing with them.
Okay, I wanted to talk about that. That's been taken out of context, and it like Fed heads are like mocking that because like, oh look, AEW so, but like if you actually know what the story and that they would have asked the ring crew to, hey, we want a bag of tacks under the ring, and they're like, screw you guys, you were jerks to us for years. Yeah. So we're putting gummy, like it makes sense.
And Nick got absolutely spiked on him. It was awesome.
He did.
Another funny rip was the Bucks do the entrance, and they said they wanted their old theme back, so. Production plays their original theme song from like old indies, which is Mbop by Hanson, which
beautiful.
I hate that song. It's terrible.
But it was funny.
But I thought it was hilarious. Omega's like singing along to it in the ring. I thought that was really funny, yeah. Darby got his ear shredded by Mox.
That was disgusting, yeah.
That was, I've seen people like, this isn't wrestling. It was gross, but
I got time for it.
Yeah.
It's, again,
I don't mind if they gross me out every now and then.
A whole show of that, don't want it. But a match that
it's like the syringe thing with Hangman Swerve. I'll take it every now and then.
And it's super memorable.
Yeah, Darby also got chucked into the cage by Claudio, just gorilla press, chucked. Yuta got knocked off the cage by Ospreay through an announce table. Darby and Gabe Kidd went through the TLC 4 table spot.
Oh, they did, that's right.
Except one table never breaks.
Oh, good, you remember everything.
That's
the
number one rule.
That's right.
What else? There's a Mox went through a barbed wire table in the corner. There was other stuff too.
Lots of chaos.
But yeah, this was all over the place. It was crazy. I thought this was great though. I thought it was really fun. It felt different from like Anarchy in the Arena, which we already got this year.
It did.
It was a little different than the Blood and Guts stuff. So I really liked it. And you had a lot of different people involved, so you had a lot of variety. I thought everyone had their time to shine, other than like Tanahashi was never going to do much, but that's fine because I expected that. But like anyone who could do things did things.
And they gave him the pinfall. Then there was
his last match in the UK.
The post-match stuff, right? There's a crazy beatdown after the match.
Yeah.
And then who runs down? So they're beating on Darby still some more after, was it?
No, it was like Ospreay saying bye to the fans.
Oh, it's Ospreay they killed. That's right.
They came in and they locked the cage. They beat the tar of him.
And for a guy getting neck surgery, they just crushed his neck 1,000 times.
Or sorry, like paradigm shift over and over and over and over again. And then they Pillmanized his neck.
And then the ops come down.
Yeah, and then the cage gets raised. Yeah.
And then that was it, yeah. I mean, just a bloody, violent spectacle, as you would expect. The Darby ear spot was crazy. The punishment Ospreay took, this was just chaos.
He also did like a big-ass moonsault off the cage, which looked beautiful.
It did look beautiful. So I didn't take any notes. I just wanted to enjoy this one. I thought this match was awesome.
This was great. I thought there's just so much action all over the place, different stuff, and like they did a good job of like interspersing people at different times. Because obviously you're not going to have everyone in at once. Mm-hmm. So they did a good job of like rotating people in and out, but like not always just two people. It's like multiple people doing different things. A variety of weapons involved, right? Like there's just so much stuff that they did.
Yeah, it was great. Over under accurate?
9.07 from Cage Match.
I'm accurate. I went 4.5, so bang on that.
I would go 4.5. Meltzer gave this 5 stars.
Like, I liked it as much as Hangman MJF, but it's a very different match.
Yeah.
So to me,
this
they're
is a 5-star Meltzer match. Another one for
wow.
Ospreay.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I wouldn't go, but like I did think this was great. It was like the Dog Pound Cage Match. The Dog Pound was crazy, but also really good.
Yeah.
This one I like better because I'm more into it. It's people I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, we know.
And we're into the story. But this was great. It was definitely one of the more memorable matches this year, I think.
So overall,
even though it didn't happen.
I don't think. Yeah, right. This was not a top tier pay-per-view.
It was a good show, though. I thought
not a waste of money. Really good. I thought Takahashi Fletcher, Paige MJF, Lights Out were all excellent. And then there was a whole bunch that we had in that 3.75, and we're tough graders, so those are really good matches. The Sabre match was a little disappointing.
I think that was probably my least favorite.
The women's 4-way would be right after that.
I think so.
But I was really entertained, even though it was a super long show. We still got through it all. I went B+.
I agree. Yeah.
Which
is low on the AEW curve. Because
they almost never miss their pay-per-views. Say what you want.
World's End 2023.
Their pay-per-views are super engaging. Great show. All right, Heatwave, you didn't see any of it, so I'm going to fly through very quickly. There wasn't... I said, my first note is so much time wasted on this pay-per-view. Evolve stuff, main roster stuff. They could trim the fat and have this be quick like old takeovers, but alas, those days are long over.
So long gone. I remember seeing like recently that it's been like 4 years since the last takeover, which is crazy.
It's gone too soon. The opener was...
Gone at the right time because they would have murdered it.
The opener is one of the better matches, I thought. It was the triple threat with Lola Vice defeating Kalani Jordan and Jada Parker to become the #1 contender for the NXT Women's title. You had Vice hitting a Tower of Doom. Parker gets her knees up on a Jordan moonsault. Hypnotic is cut off by Vice, but Jordan hits Vice with a spinning angle slam kind of thing that she started using because she used it on TV again this week. Kalani's 450 is short. Vice applies a guillotine choke, avoids the Hypnotic from Parker, and ends out... so the Hypnotic ends up wiping out Jordan by accident, and Vice rolls up Parker. 12-minute triple threat. So for these three, because they're kind of like in that up next category, right, for the women's division, kind of short. I thought Kalani looked good. Do you have over-under accurate for this?
No.
If you can find it.
Yeah, I can.
It's hard to see any of these three taking the title right now, but I guess they have to sort of build somebody at some point to do it. But it seems like Blake Monroe, Jordan Grace are going to be in that range. So I like this match. One of the better ones on the show, I thought. Are you able to find it?
That's not the right one.
I couldn't find it when I checked. Oh, maybe I wasn't checking that on... I don't know, but anyway.
I found NEW Heatwave, which is not the right...
We'll come back to it. I gave it...
It's not coming up.
It's okay. I gave it 3.5 stars. I thought it was a good match. Then we get Hank and Tank. They lose the tag titles to Dark State in 10 minutes. The Dark State guys, they chose Osiris Griffin and Dion Lennox to be their two competitors. Tank got his hot tag, but he got crotched, took a Doomsday Device for the loss. We get new champions as I expected. Short match, pretty basic. I thought Hank and Tank had a decent run, but there was no way they're retaining because NXT, they've invested too much time and effort in Dark State, regardless of how you feel about them.
Yeah, you have to at least like do something, right?
I thought this match was below average. I went 2 3/4. We had Dana Brooke, or Ash. She became the TNA Knockouts champion. She defeated JC Jane and Masha Slamovich in the second women's triple threat in 3 matches, which I thought was an odd choice.
Yeah.
2 of the first 3 matches are very similar.
I thought it was even strange that they booked 2.
Right, let alone put them in the first 3 matches. So 3 veterans, but I found it significantly worse than the opener that had less experienced women. Ash's top rope moves, she had 2 of them barely connected, including the finishing senton. So she hit that, pins Masha after 12 minutes. The story was Nyx got caught by the ref and Fatal Influence got kicked out. Is that a problem in a no DQ match?
No. No DQ.
So then why are they kicked out is what I'm saying.
That doesn't make sense.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Right? Anyways, whatever. Masha, I just thought she's better than the other 2. Her stuff looks more aggressive and effective. Ash seems to somehow have not improved over the many, many years she's been wrestling at this point.
Because she's not extreme anymore.
Extreme Dana Brooke is what we miss. I have no desire to watch her wrestle. I found this really ordinary. I went 3 stars. I thought it was just fine. Average at best. Blake Monroe defeated Jordan Grace in 13 minutes with a double arm DDT after a drop toe hold sent Grace into an exposed turnbuckle. Interesting because it was the bottom turnbuckle. I think it was Grace was going for an Alabama slam or an inverted Alabama slam, and Monroe was grabbing onto whatever she could and pulled the turnbuckle cover off. And then
I did see the finish that an exposed turnbuckle.
Yeah, that ended up with Grace hitting it. So I thought this was a good match. Monroe was targeting Jordan Grace's arm, and then Grace was just obviously overcoming it with power for stretches. I thought they had pretty good chemistry. Thought it was easily one of the better matches on this show. I do worry they're cooling Jordan Grace off a bit because it's kind of like she's in that top tier orbit, but keeps falling short.
I would be like, you would think they'd push her now because you have a heel champion.
Right, but we're definitely going back to more of this as we learned on NXT TV. I went 3 3/4 stars. I thought it was very good. Then we get the kind of the opposite end of that spectrum. It was Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele taking on Ethan Page and Chelsea Green in a, intergender tag team match, which...
Mixed tag. We love a good mixed tag.
I don't love those. Yeah, I just don't love that setup at all. So the Secret Hervers get involved. Green wins with the Unprettier after 9 minutes. So in this one, it's the things I don't like, right? Women were hitting offense on the men. The ref does nothing about it, even though they're not supposed to touch. The men don't ever do anything to the women.
Yeah, you got to have it go both ways then for the match's sake.
Right. I feel like I barely noticed Tavion Heights. And on top of all of these issues, the crowd hijacked this one. I told you, they were cheering like crazy for Chelsea Green.
I don't know where they were.
And even near the end, they were booing Steele, which was not obviously what they were going for. I did not enjoy this. I really resented that
Lowell Memorial Auditorium.
I resented that this was Ethan Page's role on this show. I thought a week...
Yeah, he's North American champion. This is what we're doing.
A week short pay-per-view match. I didn't think it overcame the concept that I don't like. So I went 2.5 stars. I had some problems with that one. And then finally we get what was probably the best match, either this or the Grace Monroe, and that was Oba Femi retaining NXT title, beat Javon Evans with the fall from Grace after about 18 minutes. Good contrast to styles, right? Oba's looking surprised sometimes in this at how good Evans is and some of the stuff he can pull out.
And the crazy bumps Javon will take.
Oh my God. Ref got taken out. Second ref came, made a count for Evans. But the original ref came back to notice that Oba's foot was under the rope. So that was a little bit of too much for me. I guess it protects Evans a bit because he did basically pin Femi. But the foot was under the ropes and it took a different ref to notice that fact for whatever reason. So a rare singles match for Oba that got a decent amount of time. He looked really good throwing Evans around. The one, he just threw him like gorilla press over the ropes through an announce table.
Because it's a small venue, so the table's close, so it was really easy to pull off. And yeah, I've seen the clip of it. It looks awesome.
And Evans does not have a lot of meat on his bones. I worry about that guy, but...
yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row he's taken like a crazy-ass table bump.
Evans, a great high-flying kid who can compete with anyone. I think that's what they got across here. Thoroughly entertaining. Live crowd was into it. I went 3 3/4 stars here, too. Saints came out to have a stare-down with Femi after the match. Overall, mediocre. 2 matches we're seeing. Grace Monroe in the main event, in my opinion. Opener was solid, but nothing you need to see. I thought average, so C. Maybe could have even been C-, but I gave it a C officially.
TakeOver would never.
Right. And that wraps up going through those 2 pay-per-views really quickly. Next thing we're going to talk about after I have a sip of coffee and some water probably is we'll shift gears into the follow-up from Forbidden Door, and that's taking a look at this Wednesday's episode of AEW Dynamite. So talk to me about how AEW followed up that pretty awesome pay-per-view.
So this is the beginning of their residency in the 2300 in Philly, which...
It's not big, but...
I really liked it, though.
The crowd was
had
great.
An intimate feel. Yeah, well, I'll mention that now, as I think the crowd was there, and in the right way, too, not where they're just reacting to everything, but, like, they just really made... I think they made everything on the show better, and
There's
I think...
many notes are like, the crowd enhanced this, the crowd enhanced this.
I think, yeah, I'll talk about that at the end, too. It's like, I think it definitely helped my perception of the show, is that the crowd is super into it.
They were.
And so I think they're here until they head up to London near us for the Dynamite before...
Yeah. They
All
said
Out.
I think they just got taking up residence until...
So I like
whatever.
that. They did the Chicago residence, yeah. So this is a venue NXT ran recently. And so it's smaller, but it's cool. And it's like a lot of history in wrestling, obviously. Being like a home of... I think it was ROH was here when they were in Philly for a lot of their stuff. And then obviously it's ECW, I think, was here. So
yeah, small venue doesn't matter to me if there's good energy, and there definitely was here.
yeah, absolutely. We hear from FTR first. Dax complains about Forbidden Door being an injustice. A lot of people were excited to celebrate them as champs, and the illegal man pinned him. He wants to talk to ref Paul Turner, who was already in the ring because they were supposed to have a match first. He asks how long Paul's been doing this, and he says 27 years. Dax mentions Paul's family being here, and he wants Paul to announce them as new champs and reverse the decision. But Paul says the decision is final. Stokely calls him a moron and a complete nincompoop, and he wants to appease the fans, so if he wants to do the right thing, he should hop off the fans' dicks and reverse the decision. He shoves Paul, and then Copeland's music hits. Christian appears from behind and hits Stokely with a kill switch. Copeland gets in the ring, and he and Christian brawl with FTR. The brawl goes around ringside. Security tries to separate things. FTR retreat and grabs Stokely. Christian says Forbidden Door, they took care of his problems, so now they're going to take care of Copeland's. He says he understands Dax has a father, Cash has one too. Copeland stops him, but the fans are sad, so he says the fans are sickos, and he says fine, gives Christian the mic back, and Christian says that bitch is dead, referring to Cash's dad. Copeland says it's set in stone, it'll be him and Christian versus FTR All Out in Toronto, and FTR are dead men.
I thought this worked really well, and again, helped by the vocal crowd. It's really simple, right? FTR are heels. They will not take responsibility or accountability for anything, so they are looking for an excuse as to why they lost, and they pick, because they're bullies, they pick a helpless target in the referee, a simple, effective
someone
way.
They can blame, right?
Right. They get heat. It allows Copeland and Edge to look heroic coming down to make the save. And then even though I have a long track record on the show of being a non-nostalgic person, I'm enjoying the dynamic with Copeland and Christian.
Because it is actually different, and it's a story still being told.
And it's making me care enough about it that I'm getting more excited for the match because we'll see it live, right?
Which is going to be really cool.
So yeah. I thought this was really good, and it's nice to see the tag division opening the segment with a meaningful angle, because that spot is usually reserved for like top angles. However, if you're going to nitpick, a non-title tag feud this prominent doesn't do Brodito any favors, because it's like you're the champions, but clearly this
but
is
they're also on the show later.
But anyways, I thought this was a good segment.
Yeah, really good to start us off, and accomplishes what it needs to. I thought FTR were good. Stokely always amuses me. I think he's probably my front runner for non-wrestling performer right now.
Yeah, he's good.
On just bang for your buck, I feel like he's been the most entertaining lately. Yeah. So I really enjoy it. The no hose thing was a loud chant here, and it feels like his version of Ricochet's bald thing. Like
it is.
So I like that, and that's really good for a whiny heel manager like him to have that shtick that the crowd can like use to get at him. I think that was great, and I like the Christian still doing the dead father shtick because like
me too.
Why change him?
And the Edge is like,
now we just cheer it.
I don't want him to do it. Oh, but
the fans like it.
I'm a baby face, so I'm going to let the fans have what they want.
I thought that was funny.
Yep.
Their dynamic has been pretty entertaining, I think, and things look good heading in Toronto. The place should be hot. Like I think that's going to be crazy to be in. And I would even argue you open the show with them. Since they opened Forbidden Door, so you open the show with them and like get that big moment right out of the gate. I think that'd be cool. I think the crowd will be electric, so that'll be sick. Then we get a Darby Allin vignette. It's like one of Darby's cool stylized vignettes, something different.
Very much so.
He says he meant he'd take everything from Mox, not just the title, and he cried when he saw bodies on Everest because life is fragile. He said he looked down on the world and felt alive, and all the bullshit Mox put people through took precious moments away from people. He says he was told not to go to Everest unless he was willing to die for it, and he tells Mox not to wrestle him unless he's willing to die for this, and he'll take everything from it all out. And at some point when he was talking, we see him like ripping the bandage off his ear so he can write all out on the wall in blood.
Crazy.
Because,
I was pretty captivated by this. The style of it gets me first, right? And then I really like that they weaving in real events, like him climbing Everest and stuff. And he talked about like walking by dead bodies, because apparently like the climb to Everest is littered with people who've died trying to do it, right? So that's pretty messed up. But anyways, we also got a bit of a recap of Death Rider's actions, which I always appreciate, and then lots of the blood imagery, and him like writing on the wall. And I thought this was really cool and very on brand for Darby Allin, and just like I thought it was very cool. Yeah,
I thought it was really cool. I love when his vignettes are shot different. I thought incorporating the ear stuff was a cool touch, and using his Everest climb to connect back to the story here, like making the real world stuff matter here.
Exactly.
And I feel like we have to get some stipulation match between them all out. I'm not sure what it would be, but I'm super excited to be seeing them live because it'll be some sort of insane And I think it's interesting just because Mox faced Darby just after All Out last year. It was Dynamite Grand Slam. Remember when he beat Darby for the title shot? Because that's why he came back. He won Darby's title shot so he could take the title from Danielson and put it in a briefcase.
What do we have, 3 weeks till?
Something like that,
All
yeah.
Out? Yeah.
So I do like that, like, we're getting this feud paying off just under a year from their last match. I feel it feels kind of full circle, which I kind of like. Then we get Jon Moxley taking on Daniel Garcia, which is an interesting choice, I think. Garcia, he gets Mox seated on a chair against the barricade, hits a couple of running drop kicks. A big superplex from Garcia. We get some back and forth pins. Then Mox drops Garcia with a quick cutter. Like, he's really good at doing the cutter.
Cutter out of nowhere.
Yeah. Garcia with some hard overhand chops. Then he locks Mox in a half crab because he's been going after the knee this whole match. So that's something to point out, is that he has been targeting that knee of Mox. Mox is able to crawl to the ropes. Mox hits a DT on the top of the steel steps, which look pretty good. A dragon screw from Garcia is blocked by Mox. Then he locks in an armbar. Garcia counters out. Dragon tamer gets locked in, but Mox, he tries to counter out into the bulldog choke. Garcia counters that and hits a pile driver for 2. The finish comes when he goes for the dragon tamer again, but Mox counters an inside cradle and he's able to pin Garcia for the win. Mox gives Yuta a mic and leaves, and Yuta on Mox's behalf says Mox won't waste his breath on Darby, and the answer is no. And then we kind of see Moxley like trying to recruit Garcia at ringside.
Yeah,
it's
that was
interesting.
I also found it interesting, and I don't find much about Garcia interesting. So that's helpful.
That is true.
So I think this is probably like the spot for Garcia. He's talented in-ring performer who is competitive with everyone but almost never wins, basically. He just kind of lacks charisma, I'm confident in saying at this point, and acting ability. But tons of people would kill for the role he has, so it's not like that's a bad spot to be in if you're still visible. Good TV match. Again, the crowd added something to it. I'm not sure Mox should
take... Because they do love Garcia, even though we're not as on it.
And considering the number of pay-per-view matches that were 15 minutes, I'm not sure Mox should take 15 to beat Garcia on TV, but...
He kind of got caught with the knee targeting, so I thought at least Garcia was able to smartly kind of get the upper hand.
It was a good 15 minutes, right?
And I thought this was the best Garcia's looked in a match.
I thought he looked really good here, too. And then also like a feather in Garcia's cap that Moxley had to settle for an inside cradle and not hitting a Death Rider, right? So... and the Garcia, are they recruiting him? And
that's interesting, but like he should have been in Blackpool years ago. Because remember, Danielson Jericho had the match when we were there, the first Dynamite in Canada, and then Garcia turned heel, or like he reaffirmed his allegiance to Jazz and never turned and joined Blackpool, which I think he should have done.
It could work for him because he can work a more vicious style and he doesn't have to say much because the talking thing is not.
Although the timing is poor considering Death Riders are gonna die.
I guess, yeah.
Like they're dying out for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but yeah, good match. I thought good TV match.
Agreed. And I think him going competitive with Mox is good for him, and the crowd is vocal behind him. I can't say I care too much about him, but it's the most I've been interested in him in a while.
That is a good way to sum it up.
So I'm interested to see where that goes. Then we come back from the commercial break, and Yuta's still out there.
I was like, what, Yuta's getting 2 segments in a row? That's crazy.
Yeah, I thought that was surprising.
But then they're saying his history in the building and basically that it's hometown-ish for him or whatever, or he wrestled there, so that kind of made sense, I guess.
I guess so.
The crowd hated him appropriately.
Yeah, he says he has a lot to say and the show won't continue until he says his piece. He used to do ring crew here and he's broken bones here, and the crowd tells him to shut up. It used to bother him how little the fans respected him, but he's a Death Rider now, so their cheers don't mean shit. He says the cheers didn't do anything for Ospreay or Chuck Taylor. They didn't do anything for Danielson. He slayed the dragon and replaced him. Then the lights go out and some spooky music plays, and it's Hook's new theme song. I think it's the music from his vignettes, I believe.
Very different.
It is interesting.
And
and Yuta tries to attack. Hook dodges, red rum, suplex, Yuta dips.
Yeah, so it was just Yuta getting another segment to be fed to Hook, which I guess... as the first person to lose to Hook on Hook's return, that's fine. But unless there's something different about Hook this time around, I'm not sure how interested I am, but I'll give it a chance.
I don't care a ton, but I do like that the squad coming to get the Death Rider seems to be like the young guys, which is what we kind of were expecting the first time around. Right from the
get-go, yeah, exactly. So we'll see where it goes, I guess.
Yeah. It was fine. It was a pretty quick bit just to get Hook back. I'm surprised he's seemingly going after Death Riders and not after the Ops. But Death Riders and Kayfabe were the ones who took him out.
That's right.
And so I've seen a good theory about the end of Death Riders. I think it could come to fruition. The guy I've seen on Instagram, I think his name is like Straw Hat Johnny Boy or something like that. He's some guy who talks about AEW that I've seen multiple times. And he was mentioning the shot I was telling you from the end of Wrestle Dream where you have the baby faces looking on after Danielson's been plastic bagged. It was Cassidy, Darby, Garcia, and Hook. And he said back then he thought they'd take down the Death Riders. And Hangman took the title, but obviously Death Riders are still running. So I think now these are the guys that take them out because Darby's already fighting them. Garcia just got in there. That's like kind of we get him in there.
Yep.
Now Hook's coincidentally back, and I think Cassie is cleared, right? So he's gonna come back, and then that's like their big match. Maybe they've been saving Blood and Guts because usually we've done Blood and Guts over the summer, but maybe it's just like a timing thing. So they saved it. I don't mind waiting to do Blood and Guts if it's logical. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Instead of like forcing it earlier when we do like Death Riders and Boxing. You know what I mean?
They
like,
can put it whenever they want. It doesn't have to be the same time.
And he also theorized, I thought this was interesting, that because Mox has been like slow recruiting Statlander, mostly on Collision. Like they had a whole thing where because she won one of those money matches, but then the Bucks couldn't pay her, so Mox made sure she got her money. It's like things like that, right? So I've seen a theory that Statlander turns down Death Riders, so then her and Willow face Shafir and Baszler.
Okay, if it gets my girl Baszler there,
I would love to see Baszler. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Then we get an MJF backstage promo, press forbidden door, so he's all bloodied and sweaty. He said he's bleeding buckets and the fans are chanting, "You deserve it." He complained about Briscoe getting involved, and he got smashed by his metal clipboard. He says he's the best. He can no longer execute a contract whenever he wants. He has to give notice, and he said he's going to be man to take the title from Hangman, but he'll take care of Briscoe first. I didn't do this service here, but like angry MJF promos when he's livid are fantastic. When he just seems like genuinely unhinged and angry, he reaches another level. So I thought this was awesome. And the feud with Briscoe's going to go up a notch, I think, which will be great, which also helps to explain why he's not going to go right back after Hangman, right? Now Hangman's going to get some time to face some other challengers. And I think the Briscoe feud's going to be great. And I thought they had like this dramatic music playing under what he was saying, which I thought also made it like even cooler. I
really like this too because it's in the moment after the loss. And again, he was saying things about how I do this and you people boo me. Hangman does this and you love it. So again, it in the moment when he's not like trying to hide whatever his real feelings are, he is envious of the connection Paige has with the crowd. And we've talked about this before. I love that. That's a great story to tell. Like, why it's that whole like, why when other people do dastardly things, you still like them and I do it and you hate me, right? Yeah. And when he has those moments of honesty with Truth Serum, he's like,
it's always slipped through, right?
He wants that connection with the crowd, and it adds sort of depth to him, and it really heats up the rivalry with Paige, which they can circle back around to whenever they want, right? So I thought this was great.
Then we get Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford against Chris Statlander and Harley Cameron. Feels random, but probably Collision. Statlander hit Ford with this clothesline backbreaker looking move that looked pretty good. Like it looks like it actually like snapped her back the way she bounced off it. Statlander hit a delayed vertical suplex to Ford. Ford takes a boot from Cameron, then feigns an injury so Bayne can take her out with a cheap shot. Statlander hot tag flurry. Bayne launches forward towards Statlander into a cutter, then Bayne with a deadlift German and flying lariat for 2, but Cameron broke the pin. Statlander and Cameron with a pretty mean assist to facebuster to Bayne for 2 before breaks the pin. Bayne takes out Cameron with a claymore kick, then Statlander wipes her out with the discus lariat. Then it was Cameron hit Bayne with a tilt-a-roll DT on the floor. Statlander rolls through on a crossbar from Ford, muscles her up into an electric cherry, drops her face first. Then she uses this new submission she's been using. I have no idea what it is, but it looks really cool. She submits Ford. Then the heels attack after, but Willow comes down for the save. And there's a bit of tension there. Man, on paper, I was like, okay, fine. You and I both really enjoyed this. I thought this was actually pretty good. Yeah, I thought Statlander's always impressive, and so is Bayne. There was some creative double teaming from both sides. And some offense on both ways that looked pretty good. Really good Nothing pace. Like that sloppy either. I thought the pace was a lot better than usual. And Ford and Cameron aren't my favorite workers, but they held their own here. There was no glaring issues. Because we usually like the Statlander and Bayne, but the other two were it was, especially for Cameron, I think one of her strongest outings. And the crowd again was helpful here. The Stat Willow stuff, I feel like it's run its course and we're still dragging it on, but I guess it's a bit of a disconnect for me just because of the way they did it. Because Statlander turning back face made no sense. I know. So it's kind of like haven't we done all possible combinations of these two? So we're gonna. But I guess maybe it'll be something with the Death Riders. Yes, but this match was very cool. I thought. Yeah. Pleasantly surprised. Yeah, this was like you literally said in the moment, better than it had any right to be.
I did write that down. Was this better than it had any business being?
Yeah, I would say so. Then we had a Monet promo. She just, like, it was her coming with her 9 belts, bragging about it. She's coming for the Ultimo Dragon record. She says stuff about Alex Windsor. She dances. There was, like, really no point to this. I feel like they just want to flex how many belts she has, just to acknowledge she got one more belt because it's an indie one, so no one would care or know otherwise. So there's really no point to this. Like, I'm just brushing over it because, like, there's really no meat on the bones here.
I think if they put some effort into Windsor's character, she would be, for me at least, like a perfect candidate to take the title from Monet, because you could make a star again that wasn't in WWE, and that's what I prefer. But like you're saying, I think like most of Monet's promos, it doesn't accomplish much. She talks about herself for 90% of it, right? I don't find she adds stuff to the feud she's in, really, because she just talks about herself, which I get is her character. But that doesn't mean that it
doesn't make it impossible to, like...
It's not building compelling feuds, right? Her matches deliver for sure, but everything else just kind of falls short for me. This was a Monet thing. She's going to talk about herself and brag, vaguely mention her opponent, and move on.
Yeah. And we haven't even confirmed, like, that Windsor's getting another title shot.
Right.
So it's like, this isn't really even setting up the feud right now because Windsor didn't even come out. Like, we didn't really concrete progress anything.
She's just a copy and paste, it feels like, most of the time.
I think so, yeah. Then we get a Briscoe promo quick. He says he has a good reason why he couldn't make it today. He introduces a new baby. It's Mac Briscoe.
So he's at home in his garage, so this was not the most inspired, I didn't think, promo, but it was fine.
I think naming him Mac Briscoe is funny because it's like, if you say Mark with a certain accent, it'd be like Mac Briscoe.
Mac.
So it's like, that's basically his name. The baby doesn't end racism, so this is a useless baby. Useless baby.
I won't take that segue that's presented right there when you mention Briscoes and racism, but actually theirs was homophobia, I think.
Theirs was homophobia, so maybe this.
But they grew.
And that
they have evolved.
They did. Credit where credit's due.
Yep.
He trashed MJF, saying he'll let MJF next time he sees him. And he mentions Fletcher, since they've each got 2 wins, so he's challenging Fletcher for the TNT title, which I will say felt random, but him and Fletcher are fantastic together.
That would be sweet.
They had that match at Dynasty, especially. That was super notable. So I'm all for them going at it again. I think it benefits Fletcher to defend it against Briscoe, so I'm okay with that. And then maybe MJF costs him. We resume the MJF feud.
Yeah, this was nothing special, but I thought it was fine.
Then we get All-Star 8-man tag. It's Okada, Takeshita, Hechicero, Alexander against Brodito and Jet Speed. Callis doing like his half Spanish, half English, completely wrong intro for Hechicero.
It's fun.
Makes me giggle every time because, like, it's so very clear that it's, like, not right and that he's using the wrong words for stuff. But, like, it makes me laugh because, like, for example, I know one, like, he always ends by saying "Yo soy Hechicero," which I'm pretty sure means "I am Hechicero," because "Yo soy" means "I am." So we'll say, then I'm typing in Hechicero because I'm just looking at Google Translate right now. Hechicero means a sorcerer, so not even an alchemist.
Right.
But yeah, so Callis is basically saying "I am a sorcerer," or sorry, he's saying "I am Hechicero." Yeah. So I think that's even funny in of itself because, like, even I know that and I don't know Spanish. So, and
even if he knows, he doesn't care, right? He's just a disrespectful ass, so he'll just keep doing it.
So yeah, I think it's really funny.
Yep.
I enjoy it. He comes out with Wardlow, and then we have, the boys in the match. King drops Takeshita on Alexander, then senton to both of them. He takes out Takeshita and Okada with a double lariat, then on the floor, a cannonball to them off the apron. Zero dives to the floor from Bandito and Jet Speed. Knight is facing peril for a bit. Then we get a Brody King hot tag flurry. We get a sequence where everyone gets in some offense ends where Bandito hits Okada with a stalling suplex, which looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Then Hechicero hits him with a spinning hammerlock backbreaker. Because we have bits between them since Hechicero is challenging Bandito for the ROH World title, which happened night before of this recording. Speedball with the standing moonsault knee drop to Takeshita for 2. Looks great, but Hechicero and Alexander both get there to break the pin. Topic on Hilo to Brodito from Takeshita. Okada misses a Rainmaker on Speedball, then gets hit with the springboard lariat from Knight. Alexander is able to avoid the Ultimate Weapon, rolls him up with a small package for the win. So Alexander and the Callis boys actually getting a win here. Yeah,
this is like the quintessential AEW large tag team match, right? Incredible pace, power and speed, too much talent in it to not be good. So clearly,
I think it could have been longer given who was in it. But.
Yeah, and it's showing some cracks in the Callis family. I think is kind of the point here with Takeshita seemingly at odds with Okada and the look he gave Wardlow as well. So Alexander actually getting a pin was nice for once, right? Very good match. It did feel short. It was 11 minutes. It was almost felt like maybe something went long elsewhere, and this had to be shortened a bit because they already went overtime in this one. Yeah,
I do wish it went longer, but everyone got something in. And I'm happy Alexander got the win, even if it was a sudden roll-up. I'm glad we threw him a bone. I think the main thing here was just starting the Takeshita turn, right?
Yep, I agree.
So I think that's the main goal here, and we got a solid match out of it. We have another one next week, too, which is crazy. I think next week it was Hangman Omega Jet Speed against Fletcher Alexander and the Bucks, which is going to be insanity. Like, that's a main event. You can give it like half an hour, and I'd love it.
Yep.
Speaking of which, we hear from Hangman. This is how we get there. He thanks Ospreay for everything he's done and says he would love to face him for the title when Ospreay's back. He says at Forbidden Door, MJF had a shot and he failed. He threw every trick that he could think of and still failed. Paige says now MJF has to have a 7-day notice, so obviously you can't just cash in whenever. And he'll beat his ass before the ink is dry if MJF ever finds the courage to cash in. Callis comes out. He says Paige won his first AEW World title from him, Callis, but he had a weakling defending it, referring to Omega, obviously.
Yeah.
And he said there's a long line of people who want to challenge Hangman. He's got half of them under contract. Then we get some Callis guys coming out. It's like the Goobers.
I said Don brings out the 4 family members who definitely won't beat Hangman.
It's Archer, RPG Vice,
Hechicero,
Alexander.
Yeah.
Or was Trent not even there? Trent was there, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Maybe not. I don't know. I don't care. Paige starts attacking them before he can get attacked. They beat him down. Jesse come in to even the odds, but then Romero comes in with the baton. So then they're down again. But then Omega comes out. He takes them all out. Then we get Omega and Paige hitting the last call to Archer, which is the buckshot V-trigger from back in the day. And they hug and they kind of have an exchange there. It was solid. Callis coming out was a little random, but clearly wasn't a serious program given who Callis came out with it. And I think it was just a vehicle to reunite Omega and Hangman. Maybe we get them feuding as a babyface, which I think is odd, but I think it's kind of cool, just given like where we came from.
Yeah.
With
there's backstory.
Hangman's first title win and like that storyline, right? So I think it'd be interesting. I feel like that has to be the goal because I can't imagine Omega feuds with Callis again.
I think it's like I felt like it was kind of an uninspired way to set up this combination of guys for some sort of program.
That's the tag match next week,
and
right?
Like Jet Speed have settled into the roles of like extra baby faces to fill a group kind of thing right now, right? Which I mean, it gets them on TV. Yeah, it's true.
Then we get a Storm Mina thing. It just hypes up ROH. It was fine.
I said the Tony Storm shtick is getting in the way of another angle, but we won't see it, so whatever.
Yeah. Then we get Ops versus Ricochet and Goa for the trios titles. There was a really hard chop exchange between Shibata and
I didn't love that neither of them, but especially Khan, didn't sell it at all. So then it's like everybody else that soft because chops affect them. Like
he's a real life prince.
They could have just shown it hurts a little at least and then keep going, but it was literally like
he's a real life prince.
I know. That's what gives them the extra fortitude.
What else do you want me to say?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
But yes, it was a vicious exchange.
Shibata with a sharp boot to Ricochet, then Khan tags in. They go back and forth until Shibata has an STO. Then he tags out the Hobbs for the hot tag flurry. Meat chances he goes at it with Leona. Ricochet hits Joe with a springboard dropkick and a running shooting star for 2, but Shibata breaks the pin. The finish comes when Ricochet goes up top. MVP comes in and hits him with his cane.
Shocking.
Then Ricochet takes a spinebuster from Hobbs, PK from Shibata, gets choked on the Kukina clutch. The Ops win. Then the Hurt Syndicate guys come out to brawl with Goa.
A good trios match. Obvious run-in by a member of Hurt Syndicate to cost Ricochet the titles. Only 10 minutes with, I think, 3 of it being in a commercial. So for what it was good. And then is that another example of a young team the Syndicate allegedly want to elevate? If so, I'm fine with that. Right? Like if they were like, yes, Brodito winning is a better option, and yes, we'll go into a program with Goa once we lose the titles, like that's cool.
I'm wondering if this is going to be a trios feud or if it'll be just a tag feud, because then I don't think, does MVP get involved? Because otherwise Ricochet's kind of on the
because he can wrestle, so
right. That's
if
what
they
I'm
do
wondering.
a trios.
But yeah, I think Ricochet and Goa were good here. I think they look really good together.
They do.
I think it's a smart pairing.
I
really like it. So yeah, we'll see how the feud shakes out. But I thought this was good. And yeah, it gets an angle going, which I think is only going to be good for Goa.
Yeah, I think so too. And I've been saying I would like them to get some more visibility. So
yeah, I like them a lot.
Me too.
Then we move right into our main event, which is Darby and Claudio in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Very rarely like match on TV.
Yeah. Claudio enters through backstage, but Darby kind of attacks him there. Claudio puts him in a shopping cart and then pushes it, so Darby goes flying into a bunch of seated chairs. Then he slams Darby onto a TV monitor that was on the chairs. They said this is like a backstage viewing area, so that would explain all the chairs. Claudio walks in the entranceway as he swings Darby, so he's doing the swing as he's trying to like move forward. Then he swings him in the barricade, covers him for 2. Darby climbs up one of the arena pillars and coffin drops off there for 2. Giant pop-up uppercut from Claudio for 2.
Very big.
Claudio picked Darby up in the military press, throws him from the ring onto the announce table, which looked awesome. Darby gets Claudio in a guillotine when Claudio deadlifts him into a suplex. Darby counters into a sleeper hold until Claudio yanks him off. Claudio goes for running uppercut, but Darby sidesteps and Claudio goes through a corner table. Avalanche gut wrench suplex from Claudio onto a pile of chairs gets a 2 count. Claudio beals Darby into the corner table, but he doesn't go through it, so then he just gets powerbombed through it, which also gets a 2 count. Claudio catapults Darby into the corner, but he lands on the middle rope, jumps back into a double foot stomp on Claudio, and then he drop toes Claudio into an exposed turnbuckle and hits a code red for 2. Then we get 2 coffin drops, and it's over. Gabe Kidd comes to attack Darby, but then he turns the tables on them, and he escapes as Kidd tries to follow.
That first coffin drop looked super heavy.
I thought when he got chucked on the table, it looked the way
crazy.
His body bounced off was so funny.
I saw a crowd angle of that. It looks awesome.
Yeah, I think this is great because Darby will take so much punishment, and Claudio is so great at chucking him around.
My God,
making him look vicious.
Pause, because where is it? Great contrast to styles, with Claudio able to physically dominate Allen and Allen having to risk his own safety. No one takes a beating like Allen, and Claudio's up to the task of laying in a beating. So yes.
I have missed Darby. He takes a beating like no other, and Claudio's great at dishing it out. So I thought this was great. It was a good start to what I assume will be a decent length Darby v Death Rider saga, and it felt like a good main event.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
It made it feel different.
Although you know who was winning, but like... And Darby certainly has not eased his way back in, eh? Like, no. Straight into just...
It was like, remember last year when he like he broke his ankle, then he broke his nose getting run over by a bus, and then like less than a month later what was the stretch last year? Because he did the glass spot, remember, with Sting. Then he broke his ankle, I think, in the match with Switchblade. Then like a couple weeks later, he got hit by a bus, so he broke his nose. Then less than a month after that, he was in Anarchy in the Arena, where he's setting Jack Perry on fire and then getting hung from the arena by his ankles, where he gets hit with super kicks and chairs and whatever. And so like that was a crazy stretch, but like he never eases back into it. Then this year he's climbed Mount Everest, got his ear torn to shreds, and he's gotten thrown off a cage through tables, chucked to the announce table. Like,
he has actually no regard for his own safety. Like, you say that a lot of times, but it's true of this guy.
I feel like it's never been more like people say about Jeff Hardy too, and I feel like that is fair, but like Darby, I feel like he's the next
evolution of that.
He is, yeah. And you're saying Javon doesn't have a lot of meat on his bones, but neither does Darby. So I don't know how Darby does it.
It's like 160 pounds.
Darby might be lighter.
I thought this was a really good show. There were good segments. There were good matches. And even like the one match I didn't think I wanted over-delivered, right? So I loved MJF stuff. I liked Mox Garcia. I liked the Darby Allin vignette. I liked the FTR. Like, looking back at this show, it was very top to bottom, super solid. So I'm going A- on this show. You could go A, and I wouldn't even fight you.
I think it's an A-. I was torn, but I think I'll go A- as well, because like, yeah, this is one of those shows where they just were rolling, I think, and the crowd definitely really helped.
And I liked pretty much every segment, which is sometimes some of them
I like most of the segments, and I think I liked every match.
Yeah, really good show. Awesome to see they followed up a really good pay-per-view with a really good episode of TV. Let's hope AEW stays hot, because WWE is lacking right now. All right, shifting gears. Let's hit a trivia segment. We got to get this show moving. We like to call it Off the Top of His Head. Okay, don't know if I've done this topic. Doesn't matter. I always say if you want to skip it because you've heard it before, but I don't think so. I don't know. I went with the 15 of the lowest rated pay-per-view main events ever. Okay, so we'll start at 15. I'm going to give you the event, and we'll see what other clues you need. So Battleground 2013 for the vacant WWE title.
Main event.
Which was?
Orton and Bryan.
Yes. Said, why so bad? Match ended in a no contest after Big Show knocked everyone out. That's correct. Fans were furious after months of waiting for Bryan to get his moment. Okay, there you go. That makes sense. Number 14, Survivor Series 1999.
Wasn't it Big Show?
Yes.
Big Show trips and Raw?
Yes. Very good.
That was the one that Austin was supposed to be in, but he got injured, so they did the angle with the car.
It's funny. Why so bad? Austin was supposed to be in it, but he got injured. Big Show got a rushed win, and the whole match was thrown together. Good. 2010, Over the Limit.
2010.
Yep. For the WWE title. If this is right.
Cena?
Yes.
Batista?
Yes. What kind of match?
Was it the Last Man Standing one?
No.
Or was I Quit?
Yes.
Oh, it was the one where like he like throws them through the stage?
It says overbooked and slow, Cena winning after threatening to smash Batista with a car.
No, I think that's the one where like he's on. Remember, he's like on the car in the entranceway. He's got him up and he's like gonna throw him. So Batista quits, but then he throws him anyways and he goes through the stage.
There you go. That's what they said. Batista quit on the spot. Awkward ending. Capital Punishment 2011.
Main event?
Which was?
This was Seen in Truth?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, because it's the one where Truth gets like a drink in his face and then that's what makes him lose.
It said the build-up had some fun, but the match was short and ended with a comedy finish involving a kid and a soda.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That is the one.
All right.
Main event Truth right there.
Then we've got Hell in a Cell 2019.
Rollins Wyatt.
Correct. Match ended by referee stoppage after Rollins used the sledgehammer in an ODQ
Everyone
match.
and their mom hates that match.
Yeah. Number 10, Super Showdown 2019.
Taker, Goldberg.
Dream match, correct. Number 9, Great American Bash 2004.
Taker, Dudley's.
Yes.
Concrete Crypt.
Yes. I don't even remember that.
That one's infamous.
Taker won and still buried Paul Bearer anyways. December to Dismember 2006.
Extreme Elimination Chamber.
Which
we
was?
watched that.
Yeah.
Lashley, Hardcore Holly, Test, RVD, Punk, Big Show.
My goodness, you are correct. And why so bad? Punk was eliminated early, RVD was wasted, and Lashley won to 0 reaction.
And I don't even think the match was that good.
Pay-per-view widely considered WWE's worst ever.
It's a terrible show.
SummerSlam 94?
Taker.
Yes, correct. Judgment Day 98? Would you like the stakes?
Sure.
Vacant WWF Championship?
Was this the triple threat?
No.
Was it Kane Taker?
Yes.
Oh, with Austin as the ref and he gives himself the title.
Correct.
Okay, so it's the month after the triple threat. So I think that was Breakdown.
King of the Ring 95?
Mabel and Vega?
Correct. And that was the King of the Ring finals, right?
That's atrocious.
WrestleMania 13?
Sid Taker.
Yes, very good.
Isn't that one where Sid crapped himself? I'm pretty sure.
I don't
That's
know.
the legend, I think.
Number 3, so we're 3 away from the top here. Halloween Havoc 98.
The main event was Goldberg DDP.
Nope.
I literally said this earlier.
Not that.
Warrior and Hogan?
Yes.
Or is this only main event or is it?
No.
Okay, I thought it was supposed to be main
Oh,
event.
I thought it was. Oh, yeah, it does say main events,
So
but
then that's not right.
it wasn't the main event.
Because Warrior and Hogan was not the main event.
SummerSlam 95.
The Mabel Diesel.
Yep, that's correct. And finally, the lowest rated they have here is WrestleMania 8.
Oh, Sid and Hogan. Because
Yes.
that's the one that ends in like a weird DQ. They mess up the finish because Papa Shango's timing was off.
It says non-title, despite Hogan being retired, slow plotting ended in a DQ when Papa Shango botched his run-in. Disastrous main event. All right, very well done. Okay, done that. That was quick. You crushed it, and it seemed like AI got it all right this time, so that was nice.
Other than the main event aspect of some.
True. We'll flip back into the week that was in wrestling in what we call Highspots and Restholds. All right, so we'll get through this quickly. The dads are group text harassing me about getting anxious for their free disc golf lesson that's coming up in a few minutes here. So Raw, really quick. Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed interrupt Roman Reigns in the opening segment. Reigns and Reed brawl. Reigns comes out ahead. Obviously, he jumps onto Reed in a pile of security to finish it. Good for Reed, but there's no universe where he gets any sort of...
Yeah.
It does, like, Reigns isn't... It's not even going to be like the formula where Reed will get over.
I can't imagine.
It's just Reigns. So I don't know how great that's going to be. But anyways, Your boy JD McDonough obviously lost to Dragon Lee, as you would expect, right?
Which is great because Dragon Lee's so pushed.
Did you see what Dragon Lee's new he hit here to lead up to the, what is it, Operation Dragon? Oh, a hidden blade. So Balor got involved, got ejected by the ref. Dom gets involved. Styles comes down to neutralize him. Dragon Lee, hidden blade, Operation Dragon. Win.
Interesting.
I think you mentioned it to me. Kofi beat Penta, right? With the Trouble in Paradise.
Yeah,
off a Waller distraction. So obviously, again, it looks like maybe Penta's going to need help against this group. Who could it be? Here it comes.
Someone of a different race, surely.
Becky Lynch accepted Nikki Bella's challenge to a Women's Intercontinental Championship match at Clash in Paris, which I guess happened, right?
No.
It's not, hasn't happened yet?
I think it's next week.
Oh, okay.
Or this weekend. Actually, I think it's this weekend.
Bella was ready for Lynch as Lynch went for a cheap shot, so Bella hit her TKO.
Did they acknowledge Vicaire at all?
No.
Because she won that Battle Royal.
Not. Oh, yeah, she, well, yeah.
Or a title shot at
She
Clash
was
in
owed a
Paris.
title shot.
Did they?
And then
What's happening with that?
once Naomi got injured, the last thing I heard her say was, I'm in line for a shot too, and then
But they just forgot about it.
I guess.
Like they're not even going to try to replace it.
I thought Bella sounded awful here, and there was even some clunkiness, like it was like Lynch was facing the wrong direction when Bella went to hit the F or the TKO, so she is awful. Anyways, Ripley beat Roxanne Perez with a riptide. Raquel Rodriguez attacks after the match. Io comes down to even the odds. Heels escape, so we got the Io Ripley sort of reluctant alliance based on mutual respect and,
like
dislike
slow
of
burn
heels.
heel turn Asuka.
Maybe, yeah.
It seems
like it, which I'm all for. Styles beat Balor with a Styles Clash, and Balor is now the gatekeeper to Dominic Mysterio.
Balor.
What a time.
Poor Balor. Remember when he was like prospective main eventer?
Yeah, and now it's like, well, and not.
But it's like he got injured and now he's done.
Dom's gotten a lot better, and he is pretty great.
Yeah, it's no diss to Dom. It's
at.
just Balor, I think, is definitely better, and
Yeah.
he deserves so much more. Like, NXT 21-21 Balor should have been them realizing, oh, yeah, this guy could be a top guy.
Top heel, even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Braun Breaker beat LA Knight in the main event. We had a Rollins distraction, 2 spears for Breaker to win. Then the Vision obviously attack post-match. Uso and Punk come down to even the odds. The heels escape. Fight breaks out between Uso, Punk, and Knight. Rollins is at you can hear him off mic saying, like, we don't even have to do anything. They'll do it to themselves because the faces be fighting. Uso super kicks Punk, and he sort of stands tall to end the show. Again, like, I didn't watch it, but the stuff I did watch, the highlights and clips and stuff, just another, like, paint by numbers because of meaningless PLEs.
I've heard people complaining about, like, the paint by numbers. Like, Rollins starts the show, main event.
Yeah.
Someone in the faction main event.
Here's the formula. Here's the template. Plug in the stuff because there's a PLE coming, which is forever, always.
Exactly.
NXT, Ricky Saints starts the show in the ring. He briefly puts over Javon Evans, turns his attention to Oba Femi, calls his shot, says he's the next one to face Oba. Briggs takes exception to this. He comes out. He's tired of newcomers like Saints and Inamura cutting in line for title shots. Saints calls Briggs Sid from Toy Story, another timely reference.
Very
I don't
timely.
know. Ava comes out. Guess what? She makes a match. It's St. Briggs tonight for the title shot at No Mercy against Oba Femi.
That's the one I think that's the week after all AEW. All out.
Right. Simple segment. The crowd is really into booing Briggs recently. So
he's got a smoking vest,
skull, literally.
That's why people don't like
Some have smoking skull belts. He has smoking skull vest. Kalani Jordan defeated Blake Monroe, thanks to an assist from Jordan Grace. So Grace shows up, Monroe runs away, Grace chases her back into the ring. Kalani hits that angle slamish thing again and her split-legged moonsault, and she wins. Surprising loss for Monroe, big win for Jordan.
I'm not going to say she's like buried because people always jump to that conclusion right away, but Mariah May would never be dropping her loss like that quick.
In a 4-minute match. There's one on this show already. Hard to have
So that's just another part of her presentation that I'm not like.
I know.
It's just
Meltzer's not a fan either, I saw, of Monroe's presentation.
No, it's terrible.
So hard to have a strong opinion on the match. It was 4 minutes, so we'll move on. Lexus King defeated Miles Bourne in a blindfold match, but of course he cheated to do it. He sort of accidentally grabs the ref's face and like thumbs him in the eye.
I did see a clip of the finish. I thought that was pretty cool.
It was. Takes off the bag, low blow, like mule kick to Bourne, and then the coronation for the win. So blindfolded matches are really tough to pull off. So this one was 5 minutes. And there was one cool spot too where Lexus King, I think he thinks in story, right? He thinks he knows where Bourne is, so he just runs and dives through the ropes, like just straight onto the floor in a pile.
That's ballsy.
Which was pretty good. So yeah, again, tough to feel strongly about a 5-minute match, but at least because I don't like these matches, so at least they kept it short because blindfold matches are tough to pull off. And I'm sure this culminates with Bourne getting his revenge at some point, right?
I should imagine
Has
so.
to. The Culling defeated Ren Sinclair and Kendall Gray. Brief segment before the match, Dempsey told Ren that he found her a partner in Gray, and Ren was happy about that because
Kendall Gray why Kendall Gray was on
Kurt Angle
Ren
or
Sinclair's
something.
internet thing?
I guess.
Because she used to do like these little interviews when she was in NWA.
Yeah.
Where she would like pretend to read questions off her hand and like use a little microphone.
Oh.
And now she does it in NXT, but she calls it Ren's Day.
Nice. Ren has some charisma
she says
to her.
Happy Ren's Day.
She's funny.
Yeah, I've seen her bits, and so she always has like Dempsey on there, even though he looks unwilling. And yeah, Kendall Gray was just on there, so I guess that's why.
I guess so. Gray has Paxley in an armbar so deeply that she doesn't even notice. Like 3 feet away, Izzy Dame hits a boot and a powerbomb to Sinclair and gets the win. So, I have thoughts on...
This is what happens when you juge too hard.
Do I have thoughts on this match? Nope. It was 4 minutes long. So there's 3. Point of it was that Dame chose to win the match rather than save Paxley from this devastating armbar. So, and commentary, in case we're idiots, make sure to hit us over the head with that fact, right? Ricky Saints defeats Briggs in an NXT Championship #1 Contenders match. Again, he won with the Tornado DDT, which I think he needs to find something else. Because it's just a transitional move for so many people.
Like, he has other moves.
Good match, though. Got 13 minutes, which is nice. Speed versus power. Crowd was into it by the end quite a bit. Briggs is a really useful performer. He reminds me of, like, when Baron Corbin came back. And we're like, he's just big... He wouldn't be a huge monster on main roster, but in NXT, he's bigger, just relatively, like Briggs, and he can sort of have good matches with anyone. I don't think he'll ever ascend to, like, any sort of title reign, but he is a good, I hate to say a good hand, because it's the kiss of death, but good match. I liked it. The women are backstage. Jada Parker is giving Lola Vice some props for winning at Heatwave and becoming the #1 contender. Lash Legend stops in to talk trash to Jada, and I can't remember how she basically, but Jada was like, what are you talking, like, you just got squashed by Nia Jax, so like, why are you sort of talking to me? Anyways, Jada walks away, and as she's walking away, we see Stax heavily flirting with Ariana Grace. They are engaged in real life, apparently.
They are together in real life.
And Jada thinks it's gross.
I was telling you it's funny because Miles Bourne posted something about Vicare, like saying she's beautiful, and he's like, I'm glad I'm deaf and not blind. Which that's hilarious.
Awesome. Oba and Saints have an in-ring talk. They say things, it doesn't really matter. Dark State shows up, that's the point. Hank and Tank come down to even up the odds between the faces and the heels. And surprise, surprise, Ava later announces, like, Hank and Tank are like, we want shots at the title again because we got hosed by Dark State. And she's like, well, first you're going to have this. And they're like, okay, like they're fine with just delaying their rematch to do this. But I guess they are sort of portrayed as easygoing baby faces.
They
right?
are, yeah. I don't think it's like out of line for them.
Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
They just want to have fun.
Tyra May Steele defeated Alba Fire with a roll-up in
4 minutes.
4 minutes. Green attacks after the match. Heights stops Green. Paige attacks Heights with the title from behind, drapes a Canadian flag over the fallen Heights. So I assume we're building to a May Green match, which doesn't interest me at all. And again, this is what, 5 minute matches now? Sub 5 minute?
Yeah.
2.0 vibes for sure, which is not a compliment. Fatal Influence argue about stuff. Nyx talks about challenging for the speed title. Jane is not on board with it, so they're just doing the same. Like, there's tension within this groups of heels. Who cares? Like, who am I supposed to sympathize with? Who am I rooting for here at this point? I mean, they could develop it for sure.
Wasn't that the same thing with Toxic Attraction,
yes,
too? You're like Gigi Dolan's just face because she's like less heel.
She's less of a jerk than the other one. Yep.
That's it.
Main event is a 6-woman tag with Vice, Sol Ruka, Zarya defeating Fatal Influence, Soul Snatcher, and Lola Vice backfist to Henley for the win after 14 minutes. Pretty entertaining match with Vice keeping her momentum going ahead of challenging for the title. This and Briggs Saints match were the only two really interesting things on this show. The rest was just 4-minute matches and filler segments.
Which is your favorite?
My favorite. But that is all I have. You got anything else?
I don't.
All right, well, I'm going to get out of here and teach some middle-aged men how to disc golf, and you're going to probably pack and get ready to go to university.
Yeah.
I think we'll be back next Saturday for 268.
I think we can manage it.
We'll see what form it looks like. We appreciate you checking it out if you have the time. We will see you back here next Saturday, I think, for 268. And until then, everybody, take care.